addresses we have here.
I got the new 4Gs on the feet.
All right, we are live.
We
Look
are
at that.
live.
It is How They Got Hacked, episode 32.
32
weeks. We will be skipping next week. We'll just let you know that now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a place to be. I got a place to be. And it's just not going to work out. We all have somewhere to be coincidentally at the same time, which actually, in a way, does work out because we're all missing the same day.
Yeah.
Steve's like, I can't make it this Friday. And like, neither can I. And he's like, oh, this works out, man. None of us are going to be here. Wow, 32 episodes of How They Got Hacked.
32
This is
episodes.
Commitment.
Yes.
We're dedicated to showing up and drinking whiskey and talking security on a
Friday night.
On a Friday.
For you guys.
For
and gals.
you.
Do you know what I could be doing right now?
Anything else.
Lots.
But it wouldn't be as much fun. Anyways, Tom Lawrence.
Xavier D. Johnson.
Maurice Nash.
Yep.
And this is How They Got Hacked.
Yes. So we have not a ton of stories. There's a few things to talk about for security, but we had an interesting phone call that happened the other day with a potential client. So frequently our client acquisition process is, we're hacked, we're breached, now what? We need to call someone because everything's a big mess because no one takes security seriously because every company thinks it's too small, won't happen to them, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the small business market.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right. But this one was kind of interesting because they didn't just take over their email and things like that. They hijacked their phones and redirected them to somewhere else. That's a new one. It was, I won't say the law industry. We'll just throw that out there. So it's kind of weird. They took their phones. I don't know what the purpose is of it or what their goal was because the phones that wherever they redirect them to wasn't answering. So that made me think more prank than nefarious, but maybe it was answering and they already got what they wanted and had it forwarded to some burner phone and did the verification and then turned it off. We don't have the details in the client. We told them what to do, like start changing passwords and, we'll help you out. But they're, well, we want to talk and price. I'm like, really? They're in dire emergency but want to talk price still, which is probably how they got in this situation.
Oh boy, being cheap, huh?
Being cheap while you're pwned. That's a recipe for further disaster.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting because it is the first time. I mean, it was like a 4-person office too. This is it's a small fish. It's but
4-person office?
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't mean there's not a lot of money in it, but it's still someone took the effort to hack a small couple-person office. It wasn't some big company, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
So
interesting.
But then again, when you talk about law, you talk about companies that say, I don't know anything about them because I didn't land them as a client. But the interesting thing could be like you take lawyers that are billing. We have some smaller attorneys, but they still bill $400 an hour.
Right.
So it doesn't mean they're not sitting on 200 or 300 G's in a bank and things like that. And doing a wire transfer wouldn't be worthwhile for a small office. So yeah. Fun times.
Oof, that's scary.
Other than that, we had kind of overall, someone had asked me about the ransomware attacks, and we're seeing less of them when it comes to the small business market. I think
Really?
I
It's
think
toning down now?
it's toning down. I kind of think like anything that's an easy automated one, of course, if they have an exposed NAS box and things like that, yeah, those pop up. But it doesn't seem like to be the phishing emails coming as much. I think it's just these small clients are like, we're heading, they're aiming for like 23 cities in Texas. They're aiming for 400 dental offices. They're like, we ain't got time because it's the same amount of effort to hack 23 cities with a better payoff than it is to hack a small whatever company with 5 employees and probably no potential for paying the money. So, and if they don't have cybersecurity insurance, there's even less likely they'll even be able to cough up the cash.
Sure.
I kind of think that's they're only until those bigger companies get a little bit more secure, then they'll be back attacking. So it's just you go where the money is. That's the whole whole point of any of these.
That makes sense.
So, but doesn't mean we're not going to see a lot of supply chain attacks. And
yeah, this one was interesting.
yeah, antivirus giant Avast got hacked by spies who stole its passwords. Once again, the one side note of how they got hacked.
Who clarifies if it was a spy or not?
That's a good question. Spies.
Spies.
Cyber espionage.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I guess it depends. You're a spy if you're only in the network looking around but not actually doing anything. You're not deploying. So I guess that would make you a spy. You're just someone doing
Just
reconnaissance.
watching.
Yeah.
Just doing reconnaissance.
Yeah. And honestly, some hackers, that's frequently what they do. They're not interested in actually doing anything malicious. They just go, this is interesting. Let's dig around. I wonder how the sausage is made. So they'll dig around through source code.
Yes.
They'll dig around through things. So that can be an interesting side. Doesn't mean they should be there, but that Darknet Diaries about the gaming. They really didn't want anything more than to play games. They didn't want to poison.
Demos, yeah.
I mean, think about what they could have done. Versus what they did do. They got some cool demos. That's all they were after. They're like, we're beta testers now.
You're getting free beta testing.
Free beta testing. So the attack was detected on September 33rd when a Microsoft security tool put out an alert, malicious replication of directory services from an internal IP. Directory services and software programs provide admins a single point in a business IT network where they can manage things like identity. So they found someone in there. But one of the things I know they did was leave them in there a while because they wanted to know what they were doing. So while the company isn't sure what the hackers are trying to do, Avast determined that its CC Cleaner business was the likely target of a supply chain attack in 2017. And that was a really interesting one where they were able to kind of compromise a small piece of it. So they kind of let them wander around, but it didn't sound like they really got too much. From the insights we've gathered so far, it isn't clear what is extremely sophisticated against them. They had the intention to leave no traces of the intruder or their purpose. So it's kind of a mystery, just one of those.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like
ghosts in the wires.
They were watching. They came. They saw. They may have conquered. Maybe they're on the way out when you caught them. Usually, when people get loud in an environment, it's to the point where the Windows tools are going off.
Yeah,
they were trying to probably get caught at that point.
Yeah, and I was kind of curious why they didn't list which Windows tools they were using in there.
I'm just going to assume Defender, because Defender is getting better and better.
And well,
ATP is not bad at advanced.
No, they have
threat protection.
And now they have the Azure Sentinel. I don't know if you looked at that. Have you played with that at all?
I haven't played with it, but I've seen it and I've heard good stuff about it.
Yeah, pfSense, by the way, has the ability to ingest logs from it. Not directly in pfSense, but what you do, anything that supports syslog, you take and spin up. And I started playing with a little bit, but I'm not. I got to do some more setup work. What you do is you can spin up a basic Linux server, load something like rsyslog in there. And then you can take your logs from your firewalls, including pfSense, you point it to your rsyslog server, and then that becomes your ingest server for your logs, and then it transfers over to Azure Sentinel. Now, what makes it interesting is they're charging by volume of logs parsed. So it's actually what everyone's saying is way more affordable than any other tool. Okay. And so it might be an affordable way for companies to stand up a SIM tool. And it doesn't need to do full packet because you're only filtering off all the attacks. So we can say, oh, wow, look at this pattern coming in of attacks from these IP addresses and hitting my firewall, drop it over to a syslog server, gets over ingested there, and now it sends you alert, hey, this is a bad thing that you shouldn't be going to these IP addresses. So I kind of think it's kind of maybe some next level protection. The fact that you decentralize it by putting it in Azure Sentinel versus lots of firewall companies do this as part of their secret sauce that goes to their server. Why not centralize it? You'll get better threat intelligence.
Yeah. Right.
So hopefully it was that tool. I had a feeling it might have been. I wish they would have had more details on that thing there.
Interesting.
Now, biometrics. Biometrics is something you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Google
and China is beating us in biometrics. So like they've already broken it in all the ways that it shall be broken. And I'm feeling like, we haven't seen a whole lot of stateside attacks on this type of stuff, and now we're starting to. And we're starting to see how long it takes to kind of correct some of these mistakes.
It's really convenient. So I've watched the reviews, and I was debating whether or not I want to buy the Pixel 4 because it's not as substantial of an upgrade to my Pixel 2 as I hoped. And my Pixel 2 still lasts all day on battery. Like I don't have there's like not much impetus to upgrade. And the face unlock feature, of course, especially because it will do it with your eyes closed, does not make me
Eyes closed?
It will?
Yeah.
With your eyes closed?
No.
What's the point?
So here's the beta feature.
They like, boop.
Yeah, the beta feature of the Pixel 4 had the listing in there, so all the leaks had the little button of whether or not you wanted to do it with your eyes closed or open, which is weird why it's an option.
That shouldn't even be
That's
an option.
interesting.
Yeah, but at least it was an option. You seemed like, okay, I want to do it there. Now, the actual shipping version of it says no. It warns you in the setup when you're doing the face scan that it'll do it. So, yeah, we've been working, this is the actual statement from Google, we've been working on an option for users to require their eyes to be open and unlocked, the phone, which will be delivered as a software update in the coming months. So in the meantime, if any Pixel 4s are concerned, they may take their phone and try to unlock it with their eyes closed. They can activate a security feature that requires a PIN. I recommend a PIN anyways,
you
not
a PIN.
biometric authentication.
How long can you make the pin? 6 characters?
I think 8 or more.
Okay.
So
I mean,
8 or
yes,
more
minimum
is
is 4.
nice. 8 or more is nice.
Pen is always standard, but sometimes you want to use the face because it's just faster. But if you can do it with your eyes closed, it's no point. I mean, you could just be asleep, your girl, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
gotcha.
not wrong. That's a
got the
scary
helmet.
proposition there.
I mean, it's just an example. We're just hypothetically speaking.
Allegedly.
I mean, but
allegedly.
I've tried this with my iPhone, and it's not happening.
No, it don't work.
I've tried to break the facial recognition on the iPhone so many ways. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't work when you look at it head on. So
The thing is, the Google one, because it's using radar, is really interesting. So there's definitely more advanced, but this is such a weird flaw because they're using Google bought a project called Project Soli, which is a actual radar built into the phone, and it's got better motion detection. Now, some of the motion detection features they have now are absolutely amazing, and that's cool. But it's weird that it doesn't have this like by the time of shipping.
Right.
Like you figured they have this figured out because other companies have figured these things out. So. I was trying to pull up. I had a great video related to this. I don't know if I tweeted it out before, where you kind of get the gist of the video of what's going on. The person really wants the face unlocked. Where did that video go? Yeah, I'll find it before the end of the show and share it. But it's someone really trying to get you can tell the girl's really mad. She's trying to get the guy to look at the phone and open his eyes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean,
times.
even if you were, under duress and someone's trying to get you to unlock your phone with your face, and
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Hey
able to-
Siri, I'm under duress. Boom. It just wipes itself.
Yes.
Done.
Thank you, Apple.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, you got to be careful with that. It's a scary proposition using any biometrics because I've repeated this before. If the government or someone wants you to unlock your phone, how do you have to unlock it? You have to unlock it. If it's biometric, they don't have to ask. They can just point the phone at you. You don't get a say in the matter. If it's your fingerprint, you have to submit your finger for it. There's not much you can do about those things. Those are facts. That's why pins are better. Compelling you to answer a pin is like the fifth. I plead the fifth. Now I don't have to incriminate myself therefore. And I know there's a lot of back and forth on that particular topic, but I will tell you that it's very cut and dry. Fingerprints and face, you're like, you can't answer. I give them, I don't authorize you to inspect my phone. They're like, all right, don't worry about it. We got you. Like, they don't want to do it that way. It's not a good idea. Now, this is just crazy, but I was thinking about this because it's one of those could be problematic type things here. So this is, we talked about this several episodes ago. The accused Capital One hacker has as much as 30 terabytes of stolen data.
Yeah.
So some
30
prosecutor,
terabytes is a lot.
That's a
we talked about,
ton.
yeah, so we talked about when they collected it, all the things they had. This is the other side of that. Like, okay, cool, they collected everything. Well, now someone has to sort 30 terabytes of crap. You know how much of that's probably like porn and movies and everything else? Someone's got to like organize that. I was kind of thinking about that from an interesting standpoint of the data management of being a lawyer and have prosecute a case. Like, you have to sort this. Like, you have to build a case against them out of it or for them, depending which side of the legal team you're on. But this is a lot of shit
But
to go through.
30 terabytes, I would
Someone's
not
like, there's like, all right, we just got a copy. Where do you want to start with this?
I wonder what it was 30 terabytes of. Is it specific to Capital One's network, or is this just something that Capital One's lawyers are using?
Good question.
I think when we covered it, the arrest, and they found, and at the house, they just kind of grabbed all the hard drives. So
right.
it's so much random data. And they said there was like, what did they say, like 20 other companies that might have been breached.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
they're only focusing on the Capital One, but they found evidence for lots of other things. So Page was collecting all kinds of shit, basically data hoarding. So now someone has to reverse
It was just data hoarding.
Yeah, so someone has to now reverse the data hoarding and try to figure out what's a case, what's not a case, and there's another case coming back out of this. So that whole thing's just going to be a big shit
They're
show.
going to play the mental health card on this one, for sure.
I don't think there's any one of us who argue there's not a mental health component problem with
This
this
is going to
person.
be the mental health problem. Because they're going to go, what other person would have 30 terabytes of data?
Well,
I don't have 30 terabytes of data. Do you have 30 terabytes of data?
I might,
Of
but it's
what,
because
though?
I got customer data though.
It's freaking business continuity is what it is. it's not just I've been rummaging through other people's trash. Mm-hmm. I walk in people's houses and I steal their washcloths.
You know,
like, what the hell,
you're
bro?
not busy downloading the internet. Like,
Right, yeah.
What do you got?
busy
Wikipedia?
downloading the internet.
Yeah. What was I clapping? Yeah. I'm gonna plead mental health.
As a
now
child,
on
I
this.
really thought I could download the internet.
Listen, I want to have some kind of plea when they come get me.
As a child, you could have downloaded the internet.
Right?
It's not happening now.
All 1 gigabyte of it.
Now this project is now official. We talked a little bit about it last time.
Oh, it's in the other room.
Hey,
It's in the other room.
Oh, I got so much.
that's a familiar.
Did you have fun
face.
with it?
I got so many
It's a familiar
handshakes.
face.
It
Look
made
at that
so
cute
many
guy.
friends. I think it made friends with the FBI.
Ooh,
Look, it seems like a familiar setup. Where have I seen this setup before? Might be even next to me.
It's all about being hyper. What do you call it? Hyper mobile in these days.
Hyper mobile.
Hyper mobility.
So this is the Ponagachi project, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
And Xavier got to borrow it while he was out trotting
DC.
around in DC.
Yep, at the Capitol, Counting Capitol.
Yeah, so all kinds of fun sorting this out. So what did you think of it overall? What's your opinion of the project? Did you have much time to play with it?
Yep. So I had a lot of time to play with it. It starts to crack things faster as time goes on. So it actually, and every time you look at it, it's doing something different. It's got like a different little eye roll, a little quick little quip, like, hey, you know, I'm making friends, or today's going so well, and I'm like, oh wow, you're
sad
making
face. No one
you're
wants to
making-
play with me.
Yeah, I'm bored, sad face, and then sometimes it goes to sleep. It's really interesting. Not to mention when you show it to other people that are in the industry, they lose their minds. They're like, oh my god, this thing is so cool, blah blah blah. So it was a nice to have for sure, and
Is it give people idea? I like the little video they hear. It says, "Bro, we got 12 new handshakes." I mean, this thing is just
right, it's outgoing.
the sense of humor they built into this
Yeah,
is just
it's wonderful.
yeah.
So in one day of war walking from all the way in Reston, Virginia, all the way down to DuPont Circle in downtown Washington, D.C., one day of war walking, I got 150 new handshakes.
Yeah,
It's just in my backpack.
It's pretty wild. So it's been a fun project. I may or may so I'm debating about doing a video on it because the Cyber Weapons Lab, Nullbyte, what's the other name he goes by? Anyways, if you watch us, you're undoubtedly familiar with his channel. He's got an excellent channel on a lot of hacking stuff. But then all of a sudden the videos went dark and he didn't post for a while because he got a strike. And this has been a challenge, and we're kind of joking when's it going to happen and how they get hacked. But you know, all we're doing is talking about hacking stuff. But if the YouTube algorithm at this moment suspects you are talking about actually a methodology to teach someone how, they make some determination where they want to ban the channel. So this is something to consider, something to think about. So as much as I want to do a video on it, I have to decide how I want to do a video on it because this device captures handshakes for cracking. It's got a purpose, and it's a good pen testing tool. It's not a good tool to talk about on YouTube because they could take my channel. So
Yeah, I would just do a tutorial on how to build it. Everything else, you have to do your own research.
Yeah, and the good news is there's a lot of documentation. They have full images. And we were building, the one Xavier's playing with was built before the image. Now there's an official image you can download without having to compile. We were compiling all these ourselves, and we built it, and let Xavier borrow it for a week to have some fun with it. So definitely a really neat project to check it out.
It made some people nervous, and I was excited about the nervousness that it generated.
Yeah.
The moment I'm like, oh yeah, look at that, it just cracked something with 3 letters. People will like go. I'm like, yeah. One of those people are around.
Yeah, and this is the Ponagachi project, so definitely really cool.
So this is different than the Spyagachi project.
The Spyagachi is a whole different.
New toys.
Good Spyagachi.
We'll jump over to it because it is
New toys, depending on who you are.
True.
And this is just because Japan is so damn weird. So Robot Hotel says sorry about buggy bedside bots.
Ew, why'd they have to put bugs?
I know.
Bed bug bot.
Why is this in a hotel room? So
A creepy robot that looks at you.
It's been a week, so I'm dropping a 0 day. I love every tweet that ever starts with that sentence.
Okay.
It's been a week, I'm dropping a 0 day.
There you go.
So Lance Arvik decided to do some poking at this weird little thing, whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
It's called a Tapia robot.
Yeah, I started calling it the Spyagachi. But why is this in your hotel room? Why?
Because it's supposed to be like your interactive assistant.
exactly.
concierge.
Exactly.
Right. But
Because imagine if you go there and so like you're going to a place where like it's Japan.
It's Japan,
you-
first of all.
So you got people
so
from
shit's weird already.
you got people from Russia, you got people from Thailand, You got people from India. You got people from China. Like, this thing can now have all of those dialects, all of the interest, and all of that stuff wrapped up into one unit. Right. Instead of having an actual concierge where you have to accommodate for that amount of international. That is a very, very congested. And that part of the world has the cultures, even though they're so close, are drastically different.
Oh, yeah.
It's nuts.
But and I'm fine. I don't want it in my room, though. That's my point.
Oh, yeah,
I'm fine. In the lobby, cool. Bilingual in the lobby, trilingual.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
My room, that's a private place.
It's still like your bedside assistant.
Yeah, that seems like a horrible idea still. And it turns out it is. It turns out it is a horrible idea. Yeah. The reason it's even in the news here is because it turned out to be a really horrible idea.
It's been proven.
So it's running on apparently some ancient old Android device. And they wouldn't believe that this person did it. That's why he said, well, it's been a week. You guys won't listen to me, so I'm dropping a 0 day. And it's talked about how hackable this thing is. One guy kept getting woken up during his one-night stay because the in-room bot interpreted his loud snoring as a command, causing it to ask repeat. Sorry, I couldn't understand that, and could you repeat your request? Like, see, I snore. This thing would already piss me off. Like, my sleep apnea might wake me up anyways. I don't need some robot waking me up. I turn everything off when I go to sleep. Like, I'm done with all this shit being on.
Sheesh.
So
the way that this thing got hacked was remote code execution and remote file inclusion using NFC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Vendor had 90 days, didn't do shit.
Didn't do shit. That was the answer to that. So, but it was in an egg, so it's a not a Ponagachi, but it's Spyagachi.
There you go.
They probably had the mindset like, why would somebody even try to hack it?
Well,
this is why. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Now, we talked a little bit, but now the full story's out.
Yeah.
Did you guys read through this?
I did, actually. When
the
it first
worst
came out, it was
OPSEC
amazing.
ever. So, researchers say they uncovered Uzbekistan hacking operations due to spectacularly bad. I mean, they use a new adjective here that they don't usually use, spectacular. They can't just say bad, amazingly bad. No, it was spectacularly bad. A new threat actor, Kaspersky calls Sandcat, believed to be Uzbekistan's intelligence agency, is so bad at operational security that researchers have found multiple zero-day exploits using the group, and even caught the malware group, even caught the new malware they were developing. Apparently, they were using Kaspersky and uploading it, and Kaspersky was getting samples of everything. It's just a read of a mess all the way down. You're just like, what is all this? How could this place be it's like the amateur security hour? Like, I don't know. I guess this is good because nation-state actors that are probably doing bad things over
let's be honest, they're learning from Nobite, so they don't know how to cover their tracks. And this is the reason why Google's like, no, we got to get Nobite off the internet. These people that are advanced persistent threats are literally just using the same thing that anyone else will go use, except for they don't have the consequences when they get caught. So it doesn't matter if they get caught or not. They don't have to practice OPSEC. Whereas if one of us gets caught, that's the game.
This is the best part right here. This is a line I was looking for. In the process of conducting some tests, one of Sandcast's developers took a screenshot of his desktop with detailed image of the Sharpa interface open on it and put a test file that ran on a machine with Kaspersky software on it. He wanted to be able to load the Sharpa into victim machines using malicious Word file, and for some reason used a screenshot of his desktop as part of the Word file.
Why?
Wow.
When Kaspersky software grabbed the malicious file, researchers learned the new platform development as well as other intel. The screenshot, for example, shows the developer's notes written in Uzbek, confirming the language of the developers, also showing the interface used to track and control Sharpa once it's infected machines. It also shows the IP addresses of his test machines.
Also, remember that these people are getting quote-unquote weapons.
Yeah.
The same way that you could give a person an AK-47 or a Glock 40. It's the same way people get given software, even though they may not be advanced at all. The tool may just be advanced.
Right.
That's very much so how I feel about this. Sharpa seems to be what we need to be worried about, not these Uzbeks, because they're having a hard time. We should.
I kind of like this. Bartholomew refers to Sandcat as trash actors because they're reckless mistakes. but he thinks their OPSEC failures can be attributed to arrogance and inexperience. So, I mean, once you're screenshotting your desktop and uploading it to Kaspersky and you're loading Kaspersky on your machine that you're developing the malware on.
This quote said, as a developer, you don't upload to VirusTotal, but if you do, don't do it from the same IP address that you're conducting your operations from.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, this is it's a fun read. It's sometimes one of those things that I can't believe it's happening. Like, is this real? Pinch me or something. I mean, is this really a nation state run security?
I feel like the rapture actually happened when the Matrix came out, and that was the coming, and it was showing us.
It's over
what we had
now.
already. Exactly. Like, we're living post-apocalypse because, like, there's no way that this is real life.
Yeah, we're living in a simulation. It's all just coming unglued here.
Definitely
Basically,
a simulation.
the Truman Show.
You know, what? Episode 4, we talked about GeoHot being crazy, doing that whole talk about simulation.
Yeah.
Episode 32, we're with him. We're like, dude, it's a simulation.
Yeah, it's a simulation.
We're with you, bro.
We're with you.
We're with you on that. We don't think you're crazy anymore. Adobe?
Yep.
Is this Adobe?
Adobe's always having some issues.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dope.
It's Adobe.
It's
Which
Adobe.
Adobe breach are we talking about now?
Right, which one? Yet another.
The old one, the new one. So Adobe exposed. They exposed themselves again.
Expose. Better be careful. You guys will go on the list.
Go on the list for getting exposed. They're on the list, all right.
They're on the list.
Exposed the data of 7.5 million of its Creative Cloud customers, and a person in matter said, in the latest example of a company leaving consumer data visible on the internet.
Whoopsie.
Whoops. Adobe
I'm
addressed-
one of their customers, by the way, that they probably left on the internet exposed.
Yeah, you
and
know,
all of us.
whenever I see
Golly.
all these dark web monitoring, and I'm like, so they said, oh, we found 10 exposures, you know, would you like to talk about it? I'm like, you missed 3. I'm like, I know there's 13 out there right now. I mean, come on, guys.
Exactly.
Get with the program.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm never surprised by any of these companies. This is why, you know, unique passwords per site, et cetera, things like that, because, well, this. The issue was not connected to, nor did it affect the operation of any Adobe Core products or services. The company sent a post, we are reviewing the development process to help prevent a similar issue from occurring.
So this is some white hat that found this,
Mm-hmm.
breached them, went ahead and let them know about it, and now they're getting ahead of it. Right? So this is a
Yeah.
0 day that went to literally 0 days. It was disclosed, and it looks like, I'm not sure if it was patched the exact same day, but they were at least made aware of it the same day it was found.
Yeah. So it's good. It sounds like they're actually...
It was addressed the exact same day.
Okay.
So it shut off public access at the same time.
So Adobe's trying to stay out of the news.
Yep, they're working hard, but
Mm-hmm.
they're still making their way into the news because it's Bloomberg.
Because it's Bloomberg.
Bloomberg is not even to be trusted.
No.
No.
Not after their bullshit that they never recanted for.
Right? Like, come on, a few things actually. Like they're
Yeah.
like on number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That was potentially 3. I don't know. We'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide. Carfax files lawsuit alleging data theft.
Right?
No more Carfax?
Oh man, the little fox.
According to a news release distributed on Thursday, Carfax filed a complaint this month for a step towards stopping business from illegally accessing its data. The suit alleged that Patrick K. Willis Company, Inc., doing business as America Recovery Services. Huh. So Carfax said ARS and several companies use a vehicle history report recent provider has identified as violating terms and conditions of use associated with the consumer-facing Carfax service.
Mm-hmm.
What's the angle here? It says our data is... So this company is accessing it, and they don't like the terms and conditions of which they do it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
interesting.
And this is quote unquote how they got hacked. Imagine having a relationship with somebody. You guys are sharing data, and all of a sudden they start to quote unquote abuse the data under what you find acceptable use of said data.
That's what's happening.
That's an interesting angle.
Right?
Yeah, so... And now some lawyers are going to win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. The lawyers
So-
always win.
Lawyers always win.
Data
That's-
theft.
Data theft. It's not data theft. It's data sharing. Wells Fargo will jump on this one. Former Wells Fargo employee arrested with
That dude looks sad.
identity fraud.
He looks sad.
He
Oh,
does
he's been
look really
crying.
sad.
Yeah. His lawyer had bad news for him.
Wells Fargo bank teller from
Alpharetta.
Alpharetta was arrested by the Forsyth.
Forsyth.
What the hell is this place?
Forsyth.
Forsyth. Sorry, I'm having trouble saying
Sure.
words today. County Sheriff's Office this week for allegedly using customer accounts to steal thousands of dollars.
You know Wells Fargo, they got them big bands on them accounts.
Yep.
Them not them small accounts.
Nope. Jernigan is accused of gaining access to multiple customer accounts at the bank between April and May of 2019, allegedly withdrawing funds from those accounts and transferring funds to unidentified female suspect during that period, according to sheriff's spokesman. Oh boy.
Jordan,
This is
what were you thinking?
yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
This is bad. This is why you look sad.
Listen, he's 22.
She must have been pretty because
He'll
it's
get out by
unidentified
Oh,
female.
Exactly. Did you pick up the key points?
Yeah, an unidentified female.
Female.
He did it for her.
Finessed.
Now you got this face, Jordan, because you listened to a female.
Heartbroken and stuck in jail.
Yeah, don't look.
Oh, and she out here with somebody else.
Oh, yeah,
He's
spinning the
sick.
bag. Spinning the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, the funds that he transferred.
He's
Yeah.
sick.
Oh, yeah. You
He's
know he
sick.
did
He's
more.
like he's got no girl and no money. That's
Look,
and a jail record
He tried
now.
to hit the payphone. It's like this number
This
has
is
been
not going good.
disconnected. He's sick. Now he in there.
Look, this
eating.
is just about the plot of Office Space, like stealing a little bit of money out of some accounts, shuffling it around a little bit.
It don't look like a little bit. They trying to pull out 12,000 at a time. That's federal. Every time you pull out over 10, they looking.
I mean, this is
Uh-huh.
stupidity.
This
You
is
got to file this in the stupidity file.
bad default creds.
Oh yeah, we love those.
Admin for username and password. So if you haven't followed, there's a couple different good breakdowns of Equifax. A couple podcasts out there. They go through, and including interviewing the former IT people and all the disaster that is Equifax. That podcast, I listened to it, and your face palming. I almost wanted to pull over while I was driving and listen to it going, they did what? Like,
Wow.
there's 130 people on a mailing list to say this server's bad, and 130 people all said that's not my job. I'm glad someone else got that email too, and then nobody did anything.
Wow.
So the admin after listening to the podcast, no surprise in any way. It's
That's why I put it in
But
here.
this was for a portal that was used to manage credit disputes.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They're like, wow.
The point is they use
Admin,
default
admin.
creds, which we have been.
No, that's not default credit. Like there's no default credits for custom software. That is the credential they set for themselves.
Look, some dev guys like it's admin, change it when you install it, and
Exactly.
I would say it's like later. It's not my job. Someone will do that, right? Someone for
yeah.
security change his password. I got some work to go do.
Man, that sucks. This company just keeps effing up, huh?
Oh man. Well, and it's unraveling all the disasters in there. I had heard, all those table talks at the bar from people that were involved a little bit, maybe slightly, allegedly, were telling me how the lateral movement occurred because just nothing, that wide open FTP because of convenience. Once you're inside their network, lateral movement wasn't even a challenge, is my understanding from people I talked to. You're like, you could just do it, like, because they didn't want to secure anything because it was just easier that way not to lock anything down. So.
Admin.
Yeah, so once you were on the inside of their network, so no one was surprised. Everyone, it was a big mess. So now it's a default creds mess as well.
Yeah. Just like to reiterate,
Oh,
do not
boy.
use default creds.
Oh boy.
Now they're hitting Johannesburg.
Yeah, they've switched. They've switched gears here.
Switch gears. Did they run out of U.S. cities again, or we just don't have time to cover the U.S.
We
cities
just
because
don't
they're busy?
have time to cover all the people that have begun to hit.
Wow.
A hacker
Ransomware
group
as a
going by the
service.
name of Shadow Kill Hackers. That's a good name.
Jeez.
Second time in 4 months.
Second time in 4 months.
Wow.
Johannesburg internal network and ransomware holding South Africa's largest city for ransom. Oh boy, the hackers are demanding 4 bitcoins to be paid by Monday. What are 4 bitcoins worth today?
Oof. Here.
Let's Google.
Yeah,
Go for it.
let's look for that Bitcoin value.
Yikes. Approximately 1 Bitcoin is $8,661.94 times.
So 4 times 8,000, 30 G's. That's actually for a city ransom. That's lower than a lot of them. I don't know what
Yeah.
the output of what's the.
That's on the way.
Do they have that kind of money in Johannesburg?
Oh,
It's a money
definitely.
place.
Definitely.
Okay. Another-
South Africa, right?
Definitely.
Got a whole bag.
Big.
Big bag.
Stupid
British
bag.
bag.
Yeah.
At that British money.
British
So,
bag.
That's where Elon Musk is from too, I think. Somewhere around there. Authorities responded by shutting down all IT infrastructure such as websites, payment portals, and other services. The breach was later confirmed via the city's official Twitter account. Second time in the past 4 months, the city's network was hit by ransomware.
And it looks like at the exact same time, potentially these same hackers were hitting 2 of the city's 5 banks with DDoS attacks, which could be misdirection for other, activities.
Wow. If that was a plot.
Yeah, you can hit
So
Standard Bank and Absa Bank.
Yeah, where is the...
Over the past week, financial institutions all around the world has been getting hit with
These cool
DDoS
names.
attacks and financial extortion.
Shadow kill hackers.
Shadow kill hackers. So, I figure we'll mention this because people tagged us in it. And I want to break this down just a little bit here. So someone, because I've talked about using LastPass, someone, I think me and Mo both got tagged into it. Xavier commented on it.
We all got tagged.
I also almost want to use this as a way to decipher what is really going on. So just because this post is popular on Reddit doesn't mean it's true. We'll point that out. This person said their IT group at my company uses LastPass pretty heavily, blah, blah, blah. TL, didn't read here, is the update. LastPass support is still investigating the issue. So you sounds like this is a real big LastPass problem. No. If you're running corporate LastPass, you can do some account linking. It's a bad idea. You probably shouldn't be using your personal computer with your boss's hardware here, where you are linked into your personal account and your LastPass account, because it becomes very easy with LastPass Enterprise to do sharing. And that sharing says, oh, you want to tie this data you shared to the corporate account. Now, when I talk about debunking and breaking it down, we'll talk about this right here. So this was posted 24 hours ago. We're going to look at the Reddit user's history. Please note, he hasn't even commented on this in 22 hours. He had one comment after he posted, and that's it. He dumped it, and then he went to talk about caterpillars and a MRSA infection he had, and no other comment following up on LastPass. And I bring this all up for a good reason. I research people who post things. I don't take their post at just face value. They posted. He may legit have had a problem, but then he went to sleep on it going, especially if it's embarrassing, you don't want to update the post. He's going to rake in the karma from Reddit it's got 1,000 upvotes in our sysadmin. Then he's going to go talking about whatever other things, which, by the way, he talks a lot about barbecue. I was reading through his Reddit history. So anyways, he's going back to doing all that. People are thinking is this Tom? And I got more than one person PM and DM me going, oh, yeah, let me message you. You got to hit this LastPass, man. It's a new attack on LastPass. No, it's not. It's one guy that made a mistake by using his personal LastPass on his company one, tied it to his personal, and probably why he doesn't update it. It hasn't updated in 22 hours.
Yeah, I can't see how this will be an attack on LastPass. But what I can see is that LastPass should not allow data to be moved from account to account this easily.
They do for importing purposes.
No.
See,
it
as
needs
a hacker,
to be explicit. I'm not even talking about security.
Yeah.
I'm talking about privacy.
yeah, privacy.
Everybody likes to talk about security this, security that, but as a developer, you have a responsibility to take your users' privacy into consideration.
You do, but they also, because LastPass has a migration path. Let's say I start out, I'm a small guy, I have a personal account.
Sure.
I have a business now. Okay, now I got to share with people. I migrate to there. They made it easy to migrate your account.
You.
Yeah.
Explicitly.
It is explicit.
That means that this person made a mistake.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is I've never used LastPass Enterprise.
It's nice.
I don't have an enterprise, right? And the enterprises that I work for use things like enterprise grade software, like Dichotic Secret Server and the other stuff that they control the hardware for. So if this person is complaining about I don't know, actually clicking a button that says migrate my secrets over from.
You have to log into both accounts at the same time to do it. It takes willful. So if you log out of your LastPass account, log into your business one, it doesn't do it. You have to actually log into both accounts at the same time.
Is that what triggers the?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well, no, you have. It asks you questions.
I need to hear the full story.
Yeah.
Because I can't make judgments based on 40% of it. Because from my perspective as a software engineer and a privacy advocate, if I'm logged into my LastPass, I have to log into my LastPass.
Right.
I do that at in my corporate environment. I did it at GE.
Right.
I've done it at GM. I did it at Dynatrace. That's very, very normal.
Yeah.
And so if let's say GM was like, yo, we have LastPass Enterprise, and all of a sudden all my secrets just got sucked into there.
I swear.
That's not my fault.
Right.
That is the LastPass problem. Right. They should have asked me, hey, would you like to import? And if so, here's a list of things. Let me know explicitly what is it that you want to import.
Right.
Or if it's in a whole entire group of things, a folder that you want to import. Not just, you sign into two things at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that,
And there is,
you
yeah.
didn't even give me a chance.
And there is, because we set up the Teams one for here.
Okay.
And that's how I know. It is implicit, and it does
Good.
say, would you like to? And you have to say some answers. You have to confirm.
Yeah. So
The
this
other-
person is just a dingus.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, this is just OPSEC. This person's a dingus, definitely.
he
likes caterpillars, because there's something about caterpillars, and there's a lot of his posts are about. Anyways,
that MRSA medicine.
I still see it as an attack vector.
but one of the things I want to bring up about
I
it is
can't call it an attack vector.
I would definitely try to exploit this.
it's also an OPSEC thing. So if I have a personal laptop and I
Yeah.
get a job somewhere, and then that person, and Xavier knows this exactly, did you load very personal information on a company provided laptop, or that had a security certificate that you know they could snoop everything on the data, or did you make a choice not to load everything on that laptop? You use other laptops, other devices.
Right.
When you have a company device, you use it for company stuff. When you have a personal device, just in general, this is just a good rule for
Yeah,
any rule,
definitely.
not just LastPass. That's the bigger part I want to talk about. If you work for somewhere, if they provided you it, don't do personal things, because they get rights to the personal things you do. You can argue about law all day, but they will get permission to do so. And it was fuzzy whether or not it was a personal device or a company policy to load it. But if you have a work from home job, you may be loading things in your personal device. But as these problems came up with my wife, when she worked for Quicken Loans, they want to install certs on the phones. That's the policy. If you want your phone to have email, they install cert on it and everything, so they can watch your
I don't
phone.
want my phone.
They
Yeah,
get
I
the
don't-
remote wipe. You got to log into the account. That's policies
no.
they have.
I'm
So
good.
But why do you need to have email on your phone?
yeah,
I'm good on
And
that.
how come if I need my email on my phone, why don't you provide me a phone?
exactly.
I was just about
Yes.
to say that.
If
I was
you can't
just
do that-
about to say that. Exactly.
And if you're gonna be mad at me because I'm not gonna do it,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Just, and someone said it right here. Don't mix business and personal data. That's just something from an OPSEC.
It's simple.
Like, make your life easier, because a lot of you, if you work in security, all you're going to get a work from home job is very likely. That's a lot of things like that. Think about the devices you use. You know, any good OPSEC, you keep them very separated. Even myself.
LastPass is pretty hard to keep separate though.
It is, but
Very much so.
if you're
Very
using the work one,
integrated.
use the LastPass for the work one, and you have a personal laptop.
What if you don't
use
have a LastPass for your work one?
well, then you don't got to worry about it. 'Cause you can worry about sorting up their data.
No, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. But still, they still have a root cert on your computer.
That's a scary proposition.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Like,
if they
you're
have a root
hoping,
cert-
you're hoping that your browser is like protecting you somehow, some way, but
But if your employer puts a root cert, you're right. They're man in the middle in your stuff.
they have
So-
your secrets now.
Yeah.
Like I'm
That's
pretty sure my secrets have been compromised because root cert and I have LastPass on the browser, but that's just how I have to access my. That's how I have to do my thing. Luckily, I'm only using the passwords that are for their stuff, so it's not like I'm going to my my Yahoo.
Yeah.
Go do my AIM chat or log into my Humble Bundle for video games or books.
Well, even myself, this is my business laptop in front of me right now, but things I load on here are very strict versus I don't even play video games on this or anything. I have a separate computer that I actually never even log on my LastPass on. This is kind of cheating, but it works well for me because we have all of our remote connection tools. When I have to save a game password, I do save it in LastPass here,
Okay.
but then I remote into that computer and I paste in the long passwords. So that's my way of cheating. That way I never have to even load it on the game computer. And that's actually because I share it with my kids. And I'm going to warn you, man, 13-year-old kids are clicking on shit. So, and I don't want anything I'm doing. I'm worried enough he's going to click on something to get the games pwned. At least I've turned all those accounts on two-factor.
Speaking of clicking on things, should we segue Xavier into helping a friend this weekend or this week?
Yeah, super interesting.
So, people, be careful on Instagram because they are phishing. If you have a lot of followers, they know you value that account and they know you will pay money to get it back if something happens to it. So, be
They
aware
will
of
ransom your social media.
Yes.
That's you guys had
So
something
we
like
had
that
a
happen?
friend who, has a large
Have you stored
following,
it?
and they sent her an email. She clicked it, moving fast.
Were you guys posting on Facebook about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So she was clicking, moving fast, and clicked the link and signed into her Instagram again while she was already signed on her Instagram. But she decided to sign in again, and it went to them, and they instantly, within 5 minutes, locked her out of her account and changed the email on it.
I think we have some mutual friends because I've seen
Yeah,
several people. Okay.
Yeah, you know what
All
we're
right.
talking about.
Yep. All right. I didn't know if it happened to someone else or it was just the same person. That's all.
Yeah, same person.
Sad times.
Yeah.
So just a little warning. Just be careful out there.
Yeah, that's another. It's another attack vector, and at some point that may be. So you look at the personal use case people have for computers. It's different than businesses. So businesses have a lot of data. There's a lot of things you can ransom. When you take someone who's and there was a targeted attack on a bunch of YouTubers. What, about a month ago? The only thing you're taking from is a very intangible, but it's still something that can be ransomed back. You're just locking them out of their account. So it's definitely an attack vector. It's something of value if you're a YouTuber going, hey, there's a lot of value attached to my account. And especially YouTubers who are old school ones who have separate YouTube accounts versus like me where it's tied to my Google account. I have the integrated account. And to me, that's an advantage because I know both Microsoft and Google, I'll put them both up there on a pedestal on it. They take OPSEC damn serious.
Yeah.
You know, I've dealt with clients who've lost their Google credentials, and Google's like, yeah, that really sucks. What are you going to do about it? And Google's like, we're just going to tell you that really sucks. That's where it ended here. Like, you can't get in, and good news is no one else can. I guess if that makes you feel better. They can be very difficult. If you lose all your 2FA devices, you lose all the backups they told you to print out and everything else, Google will not let you back in that account. It's over. So
printed it out.
Yeah. So the hackers wanted, what, $300?
Something like that.
They tried to get extort $300.
That's actually almost like so low effort money.
And if she didn't know us, she would have paid it.
Yeah.
But luckily she calmed down.
You get 10 people a day.
She called Xavier.
An entire world.
Xavier called me, and we got it under control. She got her page back.
Nice. I like it. It's got a happy ending at least.
Yeah.
We haven't heard back from the people that got their phones pwned, so we don't know if that has a happy ending or not. I don't know. When they started talking about price and we're like, really, you guys are going to be cheap? You're like...
Yeah, being cheap after you've been pwned is probably not a good idea.
Definitely.
It's probably how you got pwned and how you will stay pwned. And
how you got hacked, being cheap.
Being cheap. That's like the saddest reason to get hacked, but it's true.
Yep.
I get it. Security's hard, and there's a lot of people out there selling bullshit, so it is kind of a hard thing to sort through. You know, I honestly, if I didn't know technology and I was just a small business owner running, I don't know, a coffee shop or whatever, it would be really difficult to pick a cybersecurity vendor because I will tell you, I've met some idiots. I mean, there's a lot of people. There was a discussion in one of the MSP forums I'm in of just how many people have all popped up in the last year claiming to be experts. And I gotta admit it. I mean, what do you think of a title that a few cybersecurity experts did? And I can't help it. I know them, and I'm not trying to pick on them, but their title is Hack-Proofing Your Business. And it sounds like a bold statement. It's one of those things I hate when my rule in general, if you speak in a definitive way like that, we will guarantee you not to get hacked. Get the fuck out. That's my first answer. Anyone who says things like that. You know, and I know people don't like hearing the honest truth that we're going to provide a best effort security package. We're going to do defense in depth. We're going to put layers around it.
It sucks when I throw a brick through your window, hop into your house, and plug my thumb drive into your home computer and ramble through your fucking work email. That sucks because your company spent like, I don't know, $100 million to protect that exact email that I just went and got because of your, $120 window with a $15 rubber ducky. Like, it's just like don't tell me I can't hack you because, like, I'm from Detroit and I'm willing to do weird shit. You get what I mean? Like, yeah, like, I probably couldn't hack you if I was from San Diego. And, like, I didn't think about, like, actually running into your house and plugging into your hardware or, like, replacing your modem. But, like, don't tell me you're unhacked. You are going to be hacked if you say that. It may take 5 years, but at some point you're going to slip up. It just happens.
It's crazy. I was just thinking about that because thinking about security, I have a good Tesla story. This shit's funny as hell. So this guy's at the charger with his Tesla. And, I was always wondering, like, has anyone ever tried to carjack a Tesla? This asshole did. And it didn't go well for him at all. First, you're on camera, by the way. So he stood next to the car while the guy's in the car charging. And he's sitting there for a little while, all right, and he's about to make his move. And because the guy's in it, the car's not locked. He didn't lock the door. So he figures out how the door open, he gets in. And now the look over here, some people pull up, and I think it's about here. These people are like, wow, something's going on. They're seeing this guy, and they're watching a struggle in the car. And the carjacker is not having a good day because you're about to see what happens to him right here. I don't know how the guy got in the front of the car, but I know where he exited. It's going to switch camera angles here. They threw him out the fucking back window.
What?
Where'd he go?
I don't know what happened.
Where's the one? I think it's this video. Somehow the guy's now in the back of the car. That's the actual owner of the car, and now he's getting the guy out.
Oh.
he's like, there, you ain't jacking this car.
No, he kicked the
They
window.
locked him into the car. He locked him into the car, and then he had to.
Yeah. Well, the guy went around the other side to go grab him out of the car because the guy gets in the front seat, then gets in the back seat. The carjacker does, and then from the back seat, he throws him out the fucking window. The guy busts the window and goes out, and they ended up busting the guy. They got him on camera standing there. So if you ever carjack a Tesla, by the way, it's recording you all the time. I just thought it was
How many
kind
cameras
of
on there? 6, 8?
Yeah, 8 cameras on it.
8
so
cameras. 360.
so even the security on the Teslas and things like that.
What was that? Was that a Tesla motor with all that oil?
Oh yeah, you never seen one taken apart?
I thought it was non-oil.
No, it's just a lubricant inside of it.
So it still takes oil?
No, it's just the gears have oil in it.
Yeah, but you only have to change the oil in that gearbox once every...
Never.
Never.
It's sealed because it doesn't get dirty. But yeah, watch when they pop the gears
Probably some
apart.
thick-ass Lucas.
Those are the heat pads. It's just gear
I just
oil.
find it to be ironic.
What? I mean,
Well, you got to lubricate gears. Those are the gears.
You know, hey, it's ironic.
That's it. So that's that little bit of oil that's in there for the gears. Now we're off topic. But it's cool to see.
Yeah.
It's a good video. That's it. You got 1, 2, 3 moving parts. Take a transmission on a car, there's like 3,000 moving parts.
Exactly.
So, interesting though.
Tesla's
a whole nother topic.
American-made vehicles.
I just laughed. I seen that dude. I was like, they do that guy. That guy jumped out the window and recording them. There's been a few people. There was a game going around where people were trying to key Teslas. I don't know what the purpose was, but they found out all they had cameras. They busted all these people for doing it.
I just saw
it was like
lady
a
who did
game.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was called like this game. A bunch of kids were playing. A bunch of hoodlums going, "Oh, let's key a Tesla," and it was young, stupid kids and shit. And they're like, and they're down there by the camera, like face full of camera and everything.
I saw a middle-aged white woman key a Tesla.
Yeah.
Probably just because she was mad they had a Tesla and she didn't. She
Yeah.
just put her key out like, skirt.
Yeah, it's not like it's even inner city youth. These are just suburban idiots.
Why do people hate Tesla owners?
There's a weird thing
What'd you
about the
guys
whole
do?
hating of Tesla. I don't get it at all.
They're like, you took my job. I'm out of the job now.
Oh, someone said not really ransom, but blackmail on the topic of that. Yeah, that's. I guess it is blackmail, but it's in some. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends. I would probably still consider it ransom, not blackmail. Blackmail is like, I'm going to show what's in this account. That's
Right.
blackmail. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to show your nudes or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be blackmailing you
Yeah, that's
because that's a
blackmail.
threat of release. Paying hush money would be blackmail. So
Exactly.
ransom is a better way to do it because they're selling you back your access to your own account. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably a better.
They're holding
Yeah.
it hostage. That's
Holding
a
it
ransom.
hostage.
Ooh, not Ricochet, not the old school classic. That's young Denzel on that one.
Wow, from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Most valuable thing is your reputation. Do we have a movie recommendation? I'm trying to think here.
Not nothing. I haven't
So,
seen anything new.
I discovered something
Okay.
so awful,
What is
but
it?
I keep watching it. It's called Big Mouth. Have you seen this on Netflix?
I haven't seen.
It truly has to be the raunchiest cartoon I've ever seen in my life, and I can't look away. I can't stop watching more of it. It's just basically it's Big Mouth is a Netflix original and great group of comedy writers put it together.
Mm-hmm.
And basically South Park is not nearly as offensive as this. Like it's kids growing up and they're discovered by the hormone monsters, and the hormone monsters make them do awful things. So it is just filled with wild sex scenes and people jacking off and all kinds of craziness in it. And it's like the most raunchy. The Blue Waffle episode was just awful.
I don't know.
It's funny. So a few people said you got to watch this. It's so bad you can't believe what they do with the cartoon. And I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this is just. They say some wrong shit all the time, and every time you think it can't get worse, they have a bunch of old naked ladies and stuff like that. It gets worse. Like there's a lot of things you shouldn't see in that.
Jeez.
So yeah,
Old
it's
naked
called
ladies.
Big Mouth on Netflix. South Park is this season's been a little better. I don't know if you're a South Park fan at all.
South Park is one of those things that's been on so long, like it
Yeah.
just mull over. Like it's been on so long, I just can't watch it any longer. It
Yeah.
used to be fun, and you try to keep up with it, but
Some of it's funny, some of it's not. It's I would say the early seasons were good. The later seasons are real hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
I was like in the earlier first few seasons, I
Yeah.
watched it a lot, but there's episodes that just nail it, and the whole China protest thing. Matt and Trey Parker's tweets on that have been great. They've been really. They've been making episodes about China and everything else. So some of the stuff, because it's so relevant and politically charged, it's been kind of fun to watch. But
I just want MTV to bring Beavis and Butthead back in Eon Flux.
Get down,
Oh.
Beavis. I am getting down.
Eon Flux, that was
That style of animation for
It
that
was
time
so good.
period.
dude.
I love it.
Liquid TV.
Yeah,
So we're the same age, so we watched Liquid TV. So that was the
Liquid
whole
TV.
thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's where Mike Judge got his start. So we brought up the Office Space. There's the whole plot from that with the guy stealing from the bank and everything else. That's Office Space. Mike Judge is interesting. Idiocracy, not the greatest movie, but boy, shit's coming true sometimes. Their whole series called "Ouch My Balls" on there. That's a cult classic. And you don't watch it because it's good. You watch it because you're like, damn, that's too much of society today.
Yeah.
Mike Judge had shit figured out. Of course, Mike Judge is also the chief writer on Silicon Valley. If you haven't seen that, that's really, really good writing there. So, PC Principal, it's one of those things, like, I thought he was a funny character to came out of South Park, but then they played the joke out too much.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like they want to get out of their contract or something. Like, there's a bunch of episodes they just run through, like, we produced it.
Yeah, it's
Like, whatever.
It's lost its edge to me.
Yes, I'll agree with that. There's times it lost its edge. There's times when it's still funny. The scooter episode, have you seen that
I
one?
haven't seen that
Dude,
one.
they do a bird scooter episode just like Detroit.
I think you mentioned that last week.
Dude, that is so
Where
funny.
the bird scooter just everywhere. They
It's
just litter
you
them.
can't. They're like trying to throw them away, and they just keep showing up again. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Where the fuck did they come from?" And it's just so like that episode out of an entire season. That's the only one I would even suggest watching. That's it.
Okay.
I watched the rest of the season barely. I was like doing other things. It was on in the background because it never made me laugh.
It's Halloween. Watch a scary movie. Watch Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, Halloween.
Watch those classics. Shout out to Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the town.
I've never been a scary movie person. Like, it's never my family likes them. Like, my sister and my mom used to like them, but they never clicked with me. It's not like they don't scare me. They're always just kind of cheesy, and they didn't engage me, I guess you could say.
Oh, maybe I just like the imagination of scary pictures because I know it's not
No.
real.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just like.
I like Stephen King though. So see, like he could do that aura of scary.
Okay.
Yeah. The psychological scary I like better. I've never been a big gore fest. Like Saw, not really my kind of movie. Like
I like Saw.
yeah, but it's popular. A lot of people like it. So.
Until they went too far. Like, what is on Saw 8 now? Like,
Oh well,
bro.
once that franchise can't stop,
Bro.
Once there's money, and it
After
will just
Saw
keep
3,
making more.
it was over.
Yeah. Perfect Blue for Halloween. I've never heard of that. Creepy alien. Well, it's a Japanese alien movie. Jesus, that's gonna be.
boy.
Yeah. Japan is so weird. Saw 1 through 3. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever your
Watch
tastes are.
Perfect
There's so
Blue.
many. That's the best thing now. Like
I watched Perfect Blue. I'm gonna try that. I like foreign films.
there's so much you can watch now. That's so much out there. Whatever your tastes are, which I pick like one thing I'll watch. Like I'm watching that show. Me and my wife will pick something we'll watch together, like the Big Mouth. But I don't really watch a lot of TV, so I kind of limited. I spend most of my time like Xavier does, sitting in front of the computer. You always gotta be learning shit and working on shit, right?
We're traveling.
Or traveling.
Have you seen the Japanese movie? What's it called? I just had the name on me. The Audition.
No, I do not. The Audition. Okay.
You need to see the Audition.
So that's my. I wake up a lot of times at 4 a.m. when I can't sleep, and that's my favorite time to watch a movie. I wake up.
Yeah.
My eyes are a little groggy. I'm not quite ready to start doing something. Put a movie on because there's no one else awake, and there's no. Because the wife will complain, "You picked a stupid movie," and I don't want to hear that. But at 4 a.m, she's like, "I'm asleep. Do whatever you want."
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Until it comes too loud, and she comes out in the living room. She's like, "It's too loud."
It's always got to be something.
Oh, you
right?
got the USB-C adapter on it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, because now it's
USB-C
breakaway.
Everything. Yeah.
I love that.
USB-C everything, man.
Mhm.
USB-C computer, USB-C
Yep.
all that.
Man.
Those are pretty cool.
Xavier
Hocus
has all
pocus.
the new toys. He showed up with 3 new toys today.
Yeah. Xavier's balling now. Look at this shit.
Listen, this is what happens when you work for yourself. You gotta go take care of yourself. Go get it.
Go get it.
When people don't want to give you what you've earned, you go take it.
Hustle.
Don't get me started. I ain't had no whiskey and I go hard. I've been out taking it. No, period.
I've been telling Xavier, man, because he worked for himself, then he tried working for someone. Once you work for yourself, you're fucking broken.
Yep. And
That's
I started off working for myself.
Exactly.
Started my first company when I was 12, and my third company when I was 18, and now I'm on like my 12th company. But like, this is the company that I do all. Like, this is what pays my bills right now.
Yeah, I've been
Hire me before I come and hack you. Don't you want to have a Christmas? Don't you want to have a Thanksgiving, a Black Friday?
Hire Xavier. Keep your shit secure. Yeah, it's one of those things. I've worked for myself now for 16 years. It just comes down to I don't think I could work for anyone else.
Yep.
I mean,
I can have great business relationships with other companies and have B2B and do staff augmentation, right? And help people grow a certain part of their business.
but it's about retaining a control over the environment. I never, those were things when I worked in corporate. I hated things that were handed down to me and pushed on you, like as if, here, let me just put my thumb on you real quick. And that's really difficult. So.
Yep.
Oh, man. Marketing team is working double. Say Xavier's marketing team.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate the support. I'm working hard. Once I get this B-sides talk behind me, I think things will really turn up.
Yeah. Well, they're starting to turn up already. And
I'm blessed in abundance. I can't ask for anything more.
So it's good stuff. So, and I've got some jobs. Matter of fact, before this, I got some more stuff I'm tossing his way. So now that he's independent,
Yeah, I got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
I'm about to go do some work from Atlanta next weekend. I'm leaving out next Thursday. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. This is what I wanted. I want to be able to make content early in the morning, work all day, study all night, travel when I feel like it. Life.
All right, I think we reached the end of the show.
This is the end.
I think that is it. That's all we have for you guys.
Yeah, shorter time this. We ended up being a lot.
that was
an
a full
hour.
hour.
Okay, well, cool.
Over an hour.
Full time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
And we're skipping, like I said, we're skipping next week.
Yes.
So you won't see us next week, but after that, we'll be back together. And I think I was kind of thinking, we'll talk amongst ourselves. Coming up, we probably should do a couple, like part of an episode would be a deep dive into one of the attacks.
Okay.
Because we haven't done that. It's how they got hacked. And I thought, let's bring it back. So if someone has an idea in the next 2 weeks, or someone where there's a good write up, and then we can dive deeper into it, we'll have a discussion amongst ourselves. And I think that I was kind of thinking of different ways to change things up after 30 episodes. Going, let's take a deeper dive into a topic. And really walk through the tools, and we have the ability to display some of the stuff. Xavier's got some new toys. We can talk about it. We can put some thoughts together on it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, works for me.
I'm with it.
All right, well, press that button whenever you're ready, Xavier.
Peace.